Hello and welcome to this channel where I talk about fragrances, mostly niche ones and more so dark ones. So today I thought I'd do a first impression of the brand Vapormundum. I ordered a sample from him and then I guess it got lost in the inbox because that was just when he was releasing the new Serpent. So he was kind enough to send me a whole discovery kit, so I thought we'd do some initial impressions of that today. So very nice box, magnetized here, we always like those details, and then we have the different samples, I think it's 4 of them, yeah, in their own little individual pouches here. So let's give it a go. I have the different ones up here so I can have a look at the notes and the inspiration. So I thought we would start off with the one called Deserta, which I'm guessing is desert inspired by the mesmerizing landscape of a desert by night. Yeah, interplay of sunlight and earth. So the notes listed here are sunshine, soil, patchouli, cedar, amber, and vanilla. So which one is that? That's Serpent. There we go. So I have a soft spot for when you nail the dry rock sensation in a scent. We'll see if this one is there, or I'm guessing this is more sandy, which makes sense. But let's give it a go. Yeah, that's the right one. I'll spray to the side here so I don't burn down my whole condo. Yeah, definitely dry in the sensation. I know it's a soil note. I usually connect soil with damp soil, but this is the dry soil, which I really get. I think the cedar helps the dryness of it. I don't get much vanilla, but that probably comes out more in the dry down. And some amber as well, the roundness. And I mean, what kind of smell is sunshine as a note, but I do get the sensation of sunshine, warm day. I could definitely, I usually go for the dark stuff, but this is, for me, it's a freshie. I don't think it's a freshie if you speak to the general public, but this could work for me as a summer scent. So definitely dry sand feel. Really cool. I sort of get thirsty by smelling it. So in that sense, I think you nailed this. Let's go on to the next one, which is Electri. Let's see what's inspired this one. Fragrance crafted for those who command the dark spaces of techno raves, where champagne meets the deep mystical warmth of incense. Right. So I was curious about this one. I'm not a big champagne guy, but with incense, that kind of got my ears to perk up a bit, or I should say nose. So the notes are champagne, incense, labdanum, patchouli, sandalwood, and vanilla. So let's try this one out. This one, yeah, this is very strong. I already get it up here. So definitely the bubbliness, sparkliness of champagne. mixed with incense. Incense can have a sparkliness as well. Also sort of a dry nose feel, like a dry champagne, I guess. Very, I haven't really smelled anything like this in this combo. I don't think this is one I would go for myself. But if you're a champagne person, this is perfect for you. Very unisex. I sort of almost get some spiciness in there, even though it's not listed. And it develops fairly quickly. Very interesting. It's not, as I said, it's probably not my cup of tea for fragrance for me, but I really enjoy the scent. So if we move on to the one called Aura, which captures the softer side of the techno scene. So we have a techno fan with the notes cherry, oud, labdanum, incense, patchouli, rose, sandalwood, and vanilla. So I'm usually not a big cherry lover. However, if you saw my first video, I got the Lynch from Spiritica, which sort of did its missionary work on me when it comes to the note cherry. So I'm sort of, I'm starting to get it a bit more. So it depends on what, that one is very like an airy one, so it depends on the form it takes on. Let's see. Yeah, this is way heavier in the cherry department. Cherry and oud, and some incense, rose, and the vanilla base. So this is, out of these, I'm thinking this is like the more gourmand side of it. It is very nice. It's a very dark cherry. It's heavy, almost like some expensive alcohol. So I guess this is the most gourmand out of them, but it's not like offensively gourmand. I could still rock this, being a fan of dark stuff. So this is what I get in my head. It's like if a vampire opened a bakery or something like that. Very interesting, all of these. So let's take the last one, which I'm very excited for, which is Serpent. Which I think is a collab with Milan Sands. Yeah, so there you know, the masked guy. I feel like we share a bit of similar taste from what I've seen, so I'm very excited for this one. So this is inspired by, let's see here, a perfume that seduces with deception and kills with elegance, lures you into a rose garden only to strike when you're defenseless. So we have the notes rose thorn, geranium, leaves, saffron, petrichor, olibanum, rose, snakeskin, poison, and elemi resin. So I'm a slut for petrichor for sure. Let's see what, I don't know what snakeskin or poison should smell like, but let's just give this a go. Well, And this is the for sure the darkest rose scent I've ever tried. It has like nothing of the fluffy sweetness of many rose scents. I guess that comes down to it's rose in there, but you also have rose thorn, which I guess gives it a bit more like a vegetal feel. And I do get the leaf note, like, you know, in fall when you have big bunches of leaves. I don't get much saffron, but I can sense it in there. The petrichor feel is not very present in my nose, but it does definitely pack a poisonous feel to it, which is really cool. I sort of get the yeah, like the Garden of Eden, you know, Satan as a serpent feel. So very much predatory, but lurking in like the tall, or I guess the rose bushes. So out of these four, this is probably the one I would go for myself, because it's very elegant, but at the same time, you get the sensation of like something's off. A bit predatory in a very elegant way. I would say, like, if I do the vampire analogy again, this is like in between the classic, you know, dapper vampire and the corpse that is the new Nosferatu movie, you know. So this is very cool. I don't really get the resin, but in dry down probably stuff is gonna appear. So I'm very curious to try these on and see what happens on my skin after a couple of hours. That would be too long of a video. Yeah, very interesting scents. All of these have something that I haven't really tried before. And out of these, I would, for myself, I would go for the Serpent one. But to each their own. So really cool to try this brand. And thank you again for sending me the whole sample pack so I could try them all. And thanks for watching. And I'll see you in another video.